LP 48%, Liberal Party 31%, and again, reasonable Green vote, but a One Nation vote that sort of cancels out the Green vote there. You'd have to say the ALP with 48% of the primary looking good. I might add, 48% of the primary is a higher primary vote than my mate here, Eric Ripper, former Treasurer of WA, who had 43.5% of the primary vote, if I recall, at the last election.
Well, clearly Cassie Rowe's a better candidate.
All right, that's it from here. Let's go back to the panel.
Thanks, Jeff. We told you to look out for that magical 30 number. Well, there it is at the bottom of the screen. Mark Riley, Tower of Power, 30.
Yeah, well, that's we heard Elana McTiernan call the result at 2 minutes past 7. We're barely on air before she claimed victory, and now we can see it on the Tower of Power. Our prediction is that Labor has got at least 30 seats, which is enough to form government, a new Premier, a new government in Western Australia. The only question now is how far beyond that 30 Labor goes as the night continues. Matthias, I see you packing your papers up there. Are you having an early night? You've been champing the bit to say something?
No, just in relation to the seat of Perth. I mean, I think what we've got to remember, Perth was always a Labor seat. Eleni Evangel did very well at the last election at a time when the result for the Liberal Party was unbelievably high, abnormally high, to pick it up with a 2.8% margin. So, of course, these were seats that were always going to be the first ones to leave. But what I wanted to point out is the seat of Bicton. I mean, we had the Labor candidate for Bicton on the screen there before. We are actually performing much better in Bicton than in other parts of the state, and that is, we believe...
Perth there now, Matthias. I mean, that's a wipeout. And here's Bicton, as you talk about.
Perth has always been a Labor seat. But if you look at Bicton, which is the seat that is impacted by the Perth Freight Link, the Row 8, Row 9 project, which, if you look at a 55.2% two-party preferred for Matt Taylor, I mean, that is an unbelievably good result if that is a result that holds, and it certainly goes against the trend. And what that shows us is that across the South Metropolitan region, the Perth Freight Link project is a very, very popular.
Well, that's an interesting point.
Can I mention Jandakot, for example, which is another one where you've strongly spooked. This is we're seeing swings in some seats of. On some booths of up to 22%.
Well, we've got Joe Francis in front at about 51.3%.
Well, we're talking this. So this was a seat that was on 18%. On 18%. Yeah, right. So we're talking.
But we've got swings and we've got roundabouts, and we'll have that as the night goes on, and we'll get a clearer idea about the result later on. Matthias, very quickly, well, you're talking about the money that's being spent in the freight link there. Is it only for the freight link? What I think Labor Party members will want to know is whether they do win tonight, can that money from the federal government go towards the Metro net?
Well, no. I mean, we've been very clear. I mean, it's a federal